Hello and welcome back to the third episode of the Near Post podcast. Uh, it's Friday now when we're recording this, and obviously the day after Liverpool lose their unbeaten run, 1,370 days was the last time we've lost a game before Burnley last night. 1-0. Ashley Barnes with the penalty, and it's the only place to start. Peter, what did you make it? Let's go with last night, the performance.
It wasn't enough. It's been looking at that the last few weeks, last few months. It hasn't been clicking. I thought we would have lost in Anfield a lot earlier than tonight or last night. Just that, it's the front three again. There's nothing. It's one trick pony up there. Just no energy, no excitement watching. We look at how many shots do we have? 20.
Oh, it was scandalous amount, 25 or something.
And the only real clear-cut opportunity we got of the game was from Ben Mee mistake.
Yeah, Origi obviously fluffed his lines. I was looking back at that replay actually this morning, put myself through that torture, but fucking hell, if you look at that replay, I know it's easy to say now, could have brought that in another couple of yards. Even Manny was coming in off the left, just play him in and make sure of the goal. A little sweat, took that miles, just panicked. Even
when
before.
I was looking at that, I thought he took that on very. Obviously, Nick Pope is a huge presence in that goal.
Very good keeper.
To be fair, he done very well the way he came out, but Origi, maybe it's from lack of game time. Obviously, not one of our most clinical forwards in that team. Probably not good enough standard for Liverpool. Definitely not to be started anyway.
The man is a cult hero. You look at him, even when he comes in, he's gotten the big goals, but he is not good enough. Let's be honest here. He's been shite for the last 6 months. I hate slandering the players because he's brought me one of the best. Them Barcelona goals, that Everton goals, that Tottenham goal. It's been massive. But Jesus Christ, he's not the main problem. You're looking Trent, obviously one of my favorite players. I thought he was poor last night defensively. McNeil skipped by him a few times, well too easily. What? Why do you think his form has dropped so much?
Obviously, it's not just last night. Trent's been bad. He's been very poor the last couple of months. Anyone could say that. Liverpool fan, United fan, everyone knows that. I seen a stat yesterday which really annoyed me.
Yeah.
During the game, every time you just see that Trent's making that good overlapping run, and he's just sending crosses into nowhere. A box crowded with Burnley players. 22 crosses I think he put in, and one of them was successful. It's just not good enough. We're too obvious.
And then
we're way too obvious. And McNeil as well made bits of them numerous times. Remember one of them, he put onto his left, onto his right,
just skipped it
around him. And I was just thinking, that is so embarrassing.
I was
terrible.
Looking yesterday, obviously one of my favourite players, gets a lot of slander, but Bobby Firmino, last, I want to say 4 or 5 games, has been absolute dog shit. Fucking useless last few games. He's obviously a confidence-based player, but I'm looking at him, and even I think it was Robertson pulled one back to him yesterday. I wouldn't say it's a clear-cut chance, but it's a good chance to get a shot on target about 15 yards out or whatever. He didn't even ball properly. It was so bad. Didn't kick the ball.
It's the exact same as how he kicked it against United there. And Salah ducked, it just skewed off his foot. Didn't he? You have to hit the target. You're in the box. You're a striker. You have to be hitting the target there.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Our main problem is, it's called the low block or whatever, parking the bus or whatever. Teams set up well against us. We can't. Last night, I really don't think we made bar that Ben Mee mistake or whatever. We had a lot of good chances, but we didn't make any serious. There's no other series like, oh my God, how did we not score there? Obviously, that Firmino one was a good chance, but Jesus, hardly. We're not creating despite all the possession.
Like I remember, like obviously I grew up and watching like a not so great Liverpool team,
Piss
but
poor team.
I
Let's
always
be honest.
always felt we were so good going forward. Like you even remember that kind of Brendan Rodgers era, just outscored the other team.
Yeah.
And it was really exciting watching us play, scoring goals. The last 2-3 years, every time Salah and Mane got on the counter attack, I was like, "This is a goal, without a doubt." Now we go on attack, and I'm just like, "Yeah, we're just going to run the wings again, run the ball out, play." Like I don't get excited when they're on the counter attack. I never genuinely think like, "Oh, this is definitely a goal there." And I hate to say that, like, but it's not. I don't feel like they're going to score.
No, we're fucking boring to watch. The last, let's be honest. Like we have been so in terms of the title, for me personally, I think I said it to you. I might have said it in the first episode. If we don't get signed well in January, this window, get a proper centre half, we won't win the league, and it's not looking like we're going to do that anyways. To be honest,
Yeah.
like I hate saying this, but I can't see us win the league now. It's just I think we've left ourselves with too much work to do. We still have loads and loads of tough fixtures to go. What do you think? Like,
Man, I don't even think it's a question about win the league now. Like I hate to sound so negative, but like we're in a top 4 race here.
yeah, no, we are.
We're in the top 4 race. Like
I think we're
that's
like
embarrassing.
there's Leicester, there's City, there's United, there's. Let's be honest. If Chelsea sack Lampard quick, they could go on a run. They still have good players. There's Tottenham. There's
Man,
even Everton.
if these are below us, right? If they win their games in hand, we could end up in 6th.
Mm-hmm. No, it's
In
just
6th.
horse shit. Our run of forms, absolute. Like you hate slandering the team like that. But we have to look at it honestly. If we're blowing smoke up their arses, we're just talking absolute score because we've been so poor the last month or so. It's just obviously you can look at the losses of Van Dijk, of Jota, of Gomez, but we still have a good enough team. We still put a good enough team out there to beat Burnley, to beat West Brom, to beat Newcastle. Jesus Christ! Like it's
Like let's just say, for example, you look at Man City, right?
Yeah.
They've lost, like, not they haven't lost, but Laporte, one of their better defenders from last year, he's gone. Like you look at the amount of players they have, like sometimes they've been riddled with injuries.
Aguero has come up to a year without scoring a Premier League goal. So
yeah, but you know what the thing is, when their squad starts lacking, they improve, they bring in new players, they keep that team rotating the whole time. I think since the Champions League final against Real Madrid, I think we've got 3 or 4 new starters since then.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not, if you want to stay on top, you have to keep rotating the squad.
To be fair, I think we have done that to an extent. Like we have been unlucky with the injuries. Let's look at the injuries. Like Jota, that's a freak injury. Like it's an impact injury. Thiago was that dirtbag Richarlison absolutely done. What can we do about that? That's just that you can't really count for that. So we have been unlucky, but still, it's no excuses for the last month or so performance. Absolute, so poor. So
well, it's horrible to see, but it doesn't look like we're going to sign anyone. And even the players we have, you look at Gini, they won't give him more money. That's another fantastic player.
What a servant to the club, and
when's it going to stop? We need someone.
I don't know. And then you've just literally before we went live here, whatever, got a notification there. De Bruyne now for a month at least. Anyways, I see that, and I still don't think City will struggle that much. I think obviously a massive loss, top class player and all that. They've been so solid at the back. They're going to score the goals. They'll keep on winning 1-0, 2-0. I don't think that will have that much of an impact, if I'm being honest. I think
that's the difference.
They'll turn out the results.
That is the difference there, though. That's us. We lose a big player, and what do we have to back it up?
Mm.
And all our backup players get injured.
No, agreed. Obviously,
like,
we look this Sunday. It's FA Cup this weekend. We go to Old Trafford, of all places, after our shambolic run of form. Like, how do you see what do you make of this match? How do you see it going?
well, like it's no secret. We haven't really been big players in the FA Cup for a good while.
No.
Kind of disrespect the trophy, but I think I would like to see us maybe go for it, because I think we know we're not going to get this. We're not going to get the Prime.
Obviously,
we need something to boost that squad, but we'll go out.
Obviously, Klopp.
Nothing really. Like
Klopp has never won the FA Cup. I don't even think he's gotten past the fifth round since he's been here. But to be honest, I'm looking at it now. I think it's. I was saying to one of the lads there, I think it's a disrespect. He's an Arsenal fan, so obviously he loves the FA Cup, but we disrespect the FA Cup. Like, I'd be delighted if we won it. I'd be delighted if we won any trophy this year. I think the cups now that the Champions League are massive, but United are absolutely flying at the minute. So I hate saying it. I don't see us getting a result. Like, even when we're absolutely flying, we struggle in Old Trafford. So I don't know.
Just in one way, that does kind of make me proud. Like, just when we say here, look, the FA Cup, like, a bit disrespect. Like, if we'd won that the last few years, we didn't win the Prem, we would have been disappointed. I'm just not going back too far. You look at, what was it, 2011, when we won the League Cup,
the League Cup, whatever it was called back then. It's Carabao now.
Kenny, and that was one of the best days of my life as a Liverpool fan.
Sure, ended it 6-7 year trophy drought. It was just, let's be honest, we had Birmingham back then as well. I think it was Dirk Kuyt got the goal next time. We obviously won it. But so look, I think we need to put out a strong team just to get a performance in and score a goal. Jesus Christ, just score a fucking goal. Like, it's just so poor at the minute. And obviously we play United, who've been absolutely like they're flying. They don't look like dropping any points. They've got lovely fixtures coming up. I can't see them dropping points for the next 4 or 5 weeks, unfortunately. And with that De Bruyne injury, they're in pole position to win the title. Yeah,
honestly, it pains me to say it, but you got to give credit where credit's due. They've just been on fire. Bruno Fernandes really has changed that team. Yeah, they're all looking good, with the exception of maybe Martial and a few others, but he's just been on fire. The difference when Pogba's on form to when he's not is
what a goal on the left peg, just absolute world class there. Like,
but that's what Liverpool need. Like, I seen Graham Souness talking. He's like, you just need one of them to go in off someone's backside, but they're not deserving. We're not deserving of goals the way we're.
Yeah,
like we have all the possession, but we're not creating clear-cut chances.
No.
I never feel like we deserve a goal. You can say, but you have all this possession. Yeah, but we're not dangerous.
No, and United look so dangerous. Obviously, Cavani coming into the team. They've got Rashford, who's been a bit off last few weeks, still always has goals in him. Bruno, like Greenwood, I think is a very, very good player. They're flying, and it's going to be another tough one on Sunday. Obviously, I'm going to go with. I don't think there can be replays now with COVID and stuff. If I'm correct there, so I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. I'm going to say we nick it on penalties. Very optimistically. What are you saying?
Oh, look, I can't even see a score, and I can't give it to United, but I'm going to say 1-0. I think we just keep it tight at the back. Matip back is obviously fantastic.
To be honest, I don't think he'll play that game. He's played that one Thursday. He's going to get rested again because, let's be honest, the man is made of, I don't know what he's made of, because he just can't play 2 games in a week. He'll just get injured if we play. I think Henderson will slot in, or Reece Williams or someone will get a game at the back.
Yeah, see, I don't think United are going to play a super strong squad, because
I think they will.
Focusing on the league now.
I think they will.
They won't.
It's Liverpool at home at the end of the day. They're going to play it like they've obviously a strong squad anyways. I think they play a strong team, And like this, just like that, Ollie will look at it. He obviously hasn't won a trophy with United, hasn't got past the semi-final. He'll look at this and think Liverpool are in a retro run of form. We're flying, lads. Let's keep this momentum going and beat them. I honestly think he'll go full tilt here.
Well, I'd even fancy them if they were playing look, if they look on their bench, like even if they were starting the likes of Greenwood and like few of them guys, like Eric Bailly didn't even start the other day. Like
he's been excellent last few games.
Dean Henderson in goals, solid as ever.
Yeah,
they have a really, really good bench. That's horrible to say, but they do. Sure.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna go. We're going with Liverpool progression by the skin of our teeth. I think that's more in hope than expectation, but we shall see. Obviously, City 2-0 on Wednesday. They beat Villa. Obviously, one thing I want to ask you, like, you seen that? Like, I still don't get it. How was Rodri not offside there?
Yeah, see, you can only be offside, I think, if your player passes the ball.
Yeah, it's the biggest. Go on, yeah.
He's coming back from an offside position, so he's not actively looking to get into the ball. But then he obviously comes back on, he tries to sneak it off him.
Yeah.
But it's really thin line there between onside and offside. To be honest, I think they'd give it to him. It's just with all the controversy with VAR and everything.
Doesn't help.
It really doesn't help. Like it leaves so much. Everything's up in the air now. I really hate what it's done. It's good for, I think, for the red cards looking back, giving the referee an extra look.
Yeah.
But them offsides, it's just such a grey area. It's really annoying.
I think I actually don't think VAR is the problem. I think VAR has just highlighted how bad the Premier League refs are. I think they're absolute dog shit standard. It just, because it literally shows they have a chance to relook at things and they still can't see that's a foul, that's offside, you know what I mean? I think it just, all VAR has done is highlight how bad the officials are. You know what I mean? Because if you look at VAR, even in the Champions League, when the European officials are officiating, it's much quicker, it's much more effective. There's well less controversy. Like, you look at the Champions League, you rarely get, obviously you're going to get bad decisions by refs or whatever, but I think you rarely get the piss poor decisions that we get in the Prem. Like some of the refs aren't in terrible nick. I know I'm going off topic here, but they're in bad nick. Like, they can't actually keep up with the play to get in good positions to make the right decisions. You know what I mean? Like, you look at the European refs, they're all younger, they're fitter. Like, I'm sure they have to pass. I know we're going off topic here, but I'm sure they have to pass. They have to pass some sort of fitness test. Because I'm looking at the likes of John Moss, and I'm like, how does he keep up in standard with these Premier League players? Like, they're just in terrible nick. A lot of them.
I think you're very hurt from last night, and you're just looking to blame someone there.
No. I am. I'm not. This is nothing to do with Liverpool. This is the Premier League in general. Like, I'm looking at it. I've said this I've taught this a few times. You see John Moss running around with a gut on him. How is he a Premier League ref? It doesn't look good. Because, you know what I mean? A big thing for the refs is being in the right position to have a good view to make the right decision. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have the perfect angle, as they say. A lot of the refs actually can't keep up with the play in the Premier League, I think.
One thing I'll say, though, that I did notice, you look at rugby and the respect for the referee is
for sure
unbelievable. The Premier League, even if you look at Serie A or anything, there's a lot more respect, I think, for the officials than there is. I think the Premier League treat officials like dirt anyway. You see players absolutely abusing. Like, I think that's a load of nonsense. If you're abusing the ref,
I agree.
Without a doubt.
I agree, but yeah, you gotta look at the players' perspective. They're so frustrated with these crap decisions. Like, I think a lot of the referees are ignorant as well. They're just like, no, I'm right. My decision is final. I'm not going to change my decision, even when they know that. Like, if they admit they make mistakes, I know that's going to happen. But I think a lot of our decisions, they won't overturn them because they just don't want to be, you know what I mean, seen as wrong or whatever. It's just, I don't know.
They don't want all that controversy.
We're going off topic there. I just had to get that one out there. I think the officiating in the Prem is, bar the likes of Michael Oliver, who I think is a top ref. I think the officials are piss poor. But anyways, I want to give a special mention as well to Ruben Diaz at Man City. I think he's been absolute I think we've mentioned him a few times, but he just gets better and better. Absolute world class since he came in. And yeah, what do you make of his impact?
Yeah, obviously massive there. Just they look very, very solid at the back.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just they're very, very solid. Like I'm saying, when you have Laporte on the bench, like,
yeah, it's mad.
You're doing amazing. Like that guy's a World Cup winner. He's starting for France. Like,
Yeah, I think he's just actually breaking into the French team. Obviously, they've Varane and Titi there, but yeah, it just shows. Like Ruben Diaz strikes me as the type of player that loves defending, if that makes sense. A lot of defenders you look at don't actually, you know what I mean? He gets enjoyment out of making the blocks, the tackles. You know what I mean? Where you look at some defenders who are just, ball players, but they're not out and out defenders, if that kind of makes sense.
yeah, when you look at a lot of the new, it's kind of like a new era of centre back. They're all kind of playing them long balls and very good on the ball. Maybe not as kind of brute one, like looking, just rock solid centre half. You like to see one, yeah, like Richard Dunn, like no real football ability, just an absolute rock at the back, which in one is good. Like, no, I don't think like 15 years ago would you've got away with two midfielders playing centre back.
No, absolutely not. You wouldn't.
Absolutely. And you look at Liverpool, like, obviously it's not ideal, but they haven't been disgraceful.
No. Fabinho's been our best player this season, I think. But him, maybe Robertson, but I think Fabinho's been our best player this season by a long distance. Like, so yeah, I just have to give Diaz a mention because I've just been so impressed with him. Obviously,
go on. Just on people you're impressed with, I have to give it to Pope yesterday. Obviously, it looks like, we would have scored and all this if it wasn't for Pope. But
he was solid, so solid.
Like, if I'm Dean Henderson there, that must be hard for him to watch. Like, obviously, he's at United and everything. He would have been fancied to be England's number one last year.
Yeah.
And now he's just kind of wasting away on the bench there. I think that's a real big shame.
Yeah.
Pope is getting that game experience. He's the star man there. He was amazing last night.
What I would say on Pope, very, very solid keep. But I think with England, obviously when he's Burnley, they're very defensive. He's going to be making a lot to say. You know what I mean? He's going to be active throughout the game. I think with England, England would dominate most teams with the quality they have up top. I think play him in the Euros. He's not. By the way, I think Pickford is dog shit. He should be ahead of Pickford, but this is not to Pickford. We won't even speak. But you know what I mean? Yeah. I think Pope is used to having. Yeah, absolutely. Pope is used to having plenty of shots at him the whole game. He's also not great with the feet. He kind of just lumps it up top, which is perfect for Burnley. Obviously, Ashley Barnes, Chris Wood up top. That's not going to cut it with England. Obviously, they're a ball-playing team, play out from the back. I just think Henderson is a bit better with his feet. Why he might suit England better. I think Pope is a better keeper, but Henderson would suit England better.
Still, though, you just see when we had that final corner, I think it was Robbo.
So solid.
Suck in, like, what does that do for a defence? He just comes out, leaps, grabs it down, like, that's amazing. But I think I hate when there's a good English keeper coming through because they all get cursed. They go on to international and they just become terrible. Look at Joe Hart,
Rob Green,
literally all of them. You can name every single one of them.
David Seaman getting lobbed by Ronaldinho, and a world class keeper just getting made a fool of. Yeah, there is a curse there. Obviously,
100%.
After that Liverpool game, we were both watching a bit of Atletico, and just have to give them a mention because they're absolutely flying. 7 points ahead of Real Madrid in second place, with a game in hand as well. I think 10 points ahead of Barcelona, who are in third. All game in hand on them as well. Like, they're just 6 wins in a row, grinding out the results. Simeone he's looking like he's gonna lead them to another La Liga, which is so impressive.
Yeah, and on the goalkeepers, actually, they went 1-0 down to a penalty. They've been struggling with penalties for the last while, and the goalkeeper actually came up and slotted it in the bottom corner. Yeah. Nice finish. But
more goals than Liverpool in 2021.
And dry January for Klopp, but he didn't panic. Simeone went 1-0 down. I was watching it there. I had it on the laptop. the Liverpool game on the TV, and man, like they're playing really defensive, but oh my god, their fouls. They're so clever with their fouls.
It's beautiful to watch. Let's be honest. Their cynicism is beautiful.
Yeah, and then they just hit you on that counter attack. Didn't even start Joe Felix, who came on.
No,
he hit 2 shots. They were very poor, but Luis Suarez up top there, Carrasco on fire.
Yeah, you got to say about Suarez, class is permanent. Like, you see the first goal, he just buries it from a tight angle, and then he obviously wins a penalty. I don't know how that was a penalty, but it's just Suarez.
Absolute jive and a half.
Suarez doing Suarez things, and what does he do? He penanks him. Like, absolute quality by Suarez. I'd say Barcelona chilling with Martin Braithwaite up top, watching Suarez do that. That's got to hurt them.
Yeah, but obviously, you know the controversy with them.
We
felt like they had to get him out. But what I would have done for us to snap him back up if I knew we were going into this drought, like, imagine you had Suarez up top there.
Perfect man to win a penalty or whatever, just make something out of nothing. But look,
you talk about that, though, strikers. You see Cavani there. Yeah. You can just see the difference.
Fox in the box.
Like, they're just so cute and they're so clever up there. They know where the ball's going to be 3 or 4 steps before everyone else does. And even when they lose the pace, they're always a yard ahead anyway, mentally.
Yeah, I don't think Suarez, just finishing up on this Atletico point, like the likes of Suarez and Cavani, they're never blessed with that much pace anyways, even in their prime. You know what I mean? They didn't really, obviously they were a small bit faster in Athletic, but they never really relied on their pace. I think with the likes of them, it doesn't make too much of a difference when they go into their older years, if that makes sense. They were never heavily reliant on pace anyways.
Yeah, like you see the likes of Jamie Vardy, who, to be fair, hasn't lost much pace yet, but when he does start to creep back, he just doesn't have the all-round game kind of to keep them pushing and
for sure
them type of players. But yeah, he's world class. If we said his stats last week from Barcelona, the man's a freak.
Class act. One thing I actually will finish up on here on this topic here is obviously there's plenty of Celtic fans around. A 2-2 draw with Livingston during the week. Like, I don't even know how many points they're behind Rangers. Low, like, it's well into double figures. And Steven Gerrard, like, obviously the Scottish League is looked at, and let's be honest, it's disrespected because there's only 2 teams in it, if we're being honest here. Like, do you think it's time the likes of Rangers and Celtic go into the EFL, say what the Welsh teams do, like the Swansea and Cardiff? Because what's the point in them two just dominating?
Yeah,
it can't be good for Scottish football.
No, but it's actually good for Scottish football because it's a bit. If you look at Wales, their football, no one watches it. It's been ruined because the 2 best clubs have gone in.
Yeah.
To, like, imagine if, like, just say Celtic and Rangers went in to the English leagues. Then, first of all, where would you start them off? You can't just throw a team into the Prem. You can't just throw a team in Championship.
Yeah, I agree.
Secondly, that will ruin Scotland football. Like, all them TV deals with the SPFL are gone. You're not going to attract any big players, no managers, nothing. It's all just going to be like the Irish League, let's be honest, even worse.
No, that's true. If they move to the EFL, I think it'd be a bad decision for Scottish football, but good for Celtic and Rangers, because, like, you see when Celtic, just finish up here, like, when Celtic, they're playing against, let's be honest, poor standard teams like a Livingston, Kilmarnock, St. Johnstone, these sort of teams. League 2, they'd be League 2 teams, let's be honest. Roughly that's in League 1, League 2 teams. Then they go play European football, obviously a lot higher standard. I think just it's such a contrast of quality that it doesn't help them at all in the European competitions. Obviously Rangers are doing flying this year in the Europa League, but usually
last
years they've struggled. I just think, just to finish up on that.
Well, yeah, I think maybe Rangers might be coming into a couple of years of dominance in Scotland. Like, yeah, you always see them; they're always swapping, and Celtic dominate for a few years, probably more often than not than Rangers. Rangers dominate for a few years. Like, what other club can go through what they did? Like how and sent back to all them leagues, obviously, and they came back
administration,
instantly.
Oh yeah, it took them.
Just like all the Italian teams do, like that. Just it's character to the club. Like they've massive fan base.
No, it is. But at the same time, it shows how bad the standard is there, that they can just piss through up the leagues to get back. You know, like if we're being honest about it.
To be fair, though, we'll shout out Stevie there. He's doing a good job there.
Very good. Like stopping the 10 in a row, he'll go down in history as a Rangers boss for doing that, because he's the man that stopped it. You know what I mean? Like they're going for 10 in a row. That's massive to stop. And let's be honest, they're walking that league at this stage. Shout out to him.
I would like to see, though, you would obviously, like, as a fan, not like just as a football fan, you'd love to see Celtic and Rangers. Anything for football as a whole probably wouldn't be great, but like you think of that. Clubs. If Rangers and Celtic, for example, they come into the English League, they're never playing Champions League football.
No,
they're never playing Europa League football. They're not finishing
unless they do well in the FA Cup, BFL Cup. But yeah, I agree. Yeah,
like they are not finishing top 10 Premier League.
No,
it's that simple.
Definitely not. They need. The only thing is, I'd say with that, just to finish up here, they'd obviously get a lot more investment being in the Championship. Like if they win, just for instance, they go Championship and they win the playoffs or whatever. You know what I mean? That's a massive financial boost. Obviously, they're not getting that in the Scottish League, so. They could argue that, but at the same time, I agree. They're champions.
But they've kind of reached a max there. Like they can't get any better because no one's going to come to play in Scotland, so they can't compete at Europe at a higher level than they are now because no one wants to join them. So they're kind of just the two teams have just plateaued. Like they're the best in the country. There's nowhere else to grow. Like, they actually can't get any better because. Bar Europe, but no one wants to come because that's the only thing they can get better at. There's no incentives.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Just thought we'd mention that. Obviously, Celtic struggling, Rangers dominating. Bit of a random end to the podcast, but we always try to look at all the leagues, see what's going on. Obviously, Atletico flying, Rangers flying, so that's got to be mentioned.
AC Milan flying.
Yeah, AC Milan. Like Ibra is just. Absolutely on fire there. It just looks like obviously a massive title race between them and Inter. I still wouldn't write off Juve just yet, even though they're struggling. But yeah, we've got some interesting leagues this year, to be fair. Just want to say,
I think that's just the whole COVID leagues.
You
never know what teams happened and
just even it up really. But on that note, we'll finish it up. Just want to thanks everyone for watching. Obviously, if you're not already, follow the Insta, follow the Twitter, the Near Post podcast. Like we're fairly active on them after games and results and stuff. So yeah, give them a follow, likes, subscribe and all that, and appreciate the watching.
Thank you.